Fellow brothers and sisters, welcome to Liberation TV. Thank you so much for coming. We have a culture following democratic principles. We speak to our leaders because our leaders are there for us. We are not in any Ashawari republic where people do not speak to their leaders. We say it as it is, we continue to say it as it is, and today we continue in the same spirit. Thank you so much for coming. We want to tell our leaders again the message like we do sometimes, not often, but to let everyone see that we are a nation that emanates the democratic principles as it is supposed to be. We are addressing our leadership today based on the idea of satellite communication. Thank you so much. God bless you. This is the vanguard of the revolution. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you all. And we start by thanking our leaders for always giving an ear to us. Our leaders indeed, Dr. Cho Ayaba, Chairman Benedict Kwa, has been giving us listening ears. There's no time they have ever given us a deaf ear. We want to thank them so much. Finally, considering the issue of satellite communication. Something 2 years ago might have been a taboo. But the first step, get our leadership to understand that without satellite communication, we are going to equip our soldiers, but La Republic and their proxies, we do everything it takes. Disarm our forces, kill them, maim them, torture them, do whatever it takes to our soldiers. Take our weapons and say, this is La Republic weapons. And so many people that support our soldiers like me, like Mandela's and AgovC's, at some point we are not getting it. In all our platform, they have reflected. They have been thinking, they have been talking since 2018. And they challenge us to challenge our leadership to know that no matter whatever we do, without satellite communication, we would not arrive in a time B that we have to be. And that our forces will continue to suffer because there is no proper communication that protects them. And that is exactly the reason why we are here again to give this message to our leadership, to our lovely leader, Dr. Cho Ayaba, Benedict Kwa, our Deputy Defense Chairman, and everyone that speaks for AgovC. We are here again as a community. We are here as people who don't hold position in the above leadership. We are here talking like civilians would do to a leadership that be. Thank you so much. God bless you and welcome. Keep sharing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are going to start this show by the anthem, and then after we will end in the same way. It's going to be one of the shortest shows I have done in a century. And so we will start with the anthem because we are addressing the leaders that you know how they respect the national, emblems, national anthem, the flag, and we ourselves too will respect that. So I want to thank you all and thank you for coming. Please, we are starting with the anthem. God bless you all and thank you for coming. Keep sharing. Share so that people all over the world can know that we are not just like surrogates, but we are surrogate with the brain. That we are not just like followers, but we are followers with the brain. That the reason why we are behind our leadership is because of the roadmap, because of what they are giving to our soldiers. That if they stop following that roadmap and giving to our soldiers the protection that be, then we will not be where we are today. We want the world to know we don't follow like sheep. We follow like people with a brain. We are citizens that understand what we could not do with Cameroon. We are able to do now with Ambazonia leadership that is legitimate. Fellow brothers and sisters, thank you so much for coming to Liberation TV. Thank you, God bless you, and that is the spirit. Right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of speech, and right to assembly has always been one of the primordial priorities of a democratic system. And that is exactly what we are building in Ambazonia. Thank you and God bless you. We start with the anthem.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonians with special loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom and led us to the hero who bore the land together. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation and joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, making our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, making our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His nation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, fellow brothers and sisters, fellow brethren, fellow comrades, activists, leaders, fellow Ambazonians, our dearest civilians, our IDPs, our refugees, and those in the colonial dungeons, from jails to prison, Kondengi Maximum Prison, and Kondengi Prison Central. Thank you so much. Those in New Bell, those in Boya, in Bamenda, all across the states of Ambazonia, in La Republique, those of you on exile, thank you for serving the nation. We know the pain is so much, we know the hardship is so much, but that is the reason we say never again shall we look back. As vanguards of the struggle, we understand what you are all going across the world. When something is about to derail our struggle and, derail the cause, as vanguard of the revolution, we are bound to speak. We are bound to talk to our leadership. And we thank God that God has given us a leadership that listens. We thank the Most High for giving us an endowed to our nation, a leader that listens to the people and not otherwise, like what has been going on with the Republic of Cameroon. We want to thank everyone that are here today. We want to thank you for your sacrifices. You have done a lot in contributions despite what other people are doing. We understand that you have to starve yourself or your family or your loved ones before you do your monthly commitment. And we understand when some people sit and manipulate, sow seed of discord and cause a lot of volatility in our struggle, we know the pain. But yet you have not given up. At every time when you are confused, you have come to some of us, the frontliners, and shared your frustration. We understand because we share the same frustrations with you. And one thing that has bonded us together is because we have one goal, which is legitimate independence for Ambazonia. I repeat, legitimate independence for Ambazonia. Because not all independence are legitimate. We can see what is happening with our neighboring La Republique to Cameroon. They thought they had independence. But remember, when they fought the rightful leadership that wanted to have a rightful independence for La Republique, which was Omniobe and his UPC party. Today, the La Republique du Cameroon and the territory suffers today because of fake independence. You know, fellow Ambazonians, we understand that we can have a decorative independence. That is the reason why we designate ourselves to be the vanguard of the revolution. We understand that at some point when we fought the enemy and the enemy knows we have defeated the enemy, they will now try to give us a proxy independence that is controlled like that one controlled from France in the West African countries. And therefore, we will fight and win to have independence, but never shall we be free. We will always be controlled in what we call neo-colonialism. And so as people who understand that everyone must be empowered to stand and treat the revolution as if you are a leader, we understand that in terms of leadership and terms of the revolutionary procurement, everyone cannot be a captain in the field. And so the idea of everyone can be a leader, which is true, and that applies after our independence. And we always know that even after independence, we shall always have one leader for the country. And so we have never seen a soccer team player or a football player or any team player where everyone is a captain. And therefore, we came with the idea of submission. And so we know that there is no way we can move ahead if we don't submit to leadership that be. And understanding that revolution also leadership emerged, meaning that we cannot clone a dictator. And knowing that at any time when a dictator is mistakenly cloned, we as a people that understand the hegemony and the way the manipulation, the infiltration works, therefore we shall refute and move ahead like the incident of South Sudan that took so many years until John Garang came to leadership. And when the dismissal of John Garang in 2005, when he died, assassinated, the people of Sudan held the vice president of John Garang, where after 3 years of dangling, neckoning and beckoning like bees in the lost desert, the people of South Sudan finally discovered that the VP of John Garang was compromised. And when the people of South Sudan from 2008 moved straight to lift and refute the leadership of the vice president of John Garang, in 2013, behold, the independence of South Sudan was achieved. We are also aware of the Gambia. We are aware of Eritrea and so many countries that got their independence. We are also aware of everything, even the history of American independence. The word blackleg started back in the days. And so in that respect, it is difficult for our leadership to take us where there are some commoners who do not adhere to submission. And we see it as another way politically maneuvered in order to shatter our leadership. And we have seen ahead of time that our institution might face a decline in years or days ahead because of the keen political manipulation that we have seen. There is no way you are going to take valiant citizens to somewhere where there are some key players that do not belong to the institution or to any institution. Example, if I misspeak or misspoke, someone will either call Capo Daniel to caution me, Lucas Ashu, Tapang Ivo, if not chair, maybe the deputy defense chairman, Sheikh Kabi Malim, and if they fail to do that, somebody will refer to Chairman Benedict Kwa or Wali on the Move, or, maybe notwithstanding CIC Dr. Cho Ayaba. But then if we are going somewhere where there are some key players that do not have any institution they adhere or they submit to, it's going to be chaos because such people do not have any principles. And so whatever they say for themselves and not for the institution. And therefore chaos will come because there's no leader that can question those people or put them down. Example, let's say Dr. Cho Ayaba was maybe in the dungeons or in prison. And Dr. Cho Ayaba speak to fellow Ambazonians and say, here is the VP, Dr. Julius Nye, in whom he is well pleased and we should hear from him. And as a lover of Dr. Cho Ayaba that I have been, like any other person can be, I continue talking to Dr. Cho Ayaba, and never a day have I ever listened to VP, Dr. Julius Nye. Then Ambazonians must question who I am. And then if Ambazonians are going for any union or any collaboration, and I am present, Ambazonians must understand that there's a threat within the house. Because we cannot prosper if we don't submit. And submission does not mean that everyone must go under Dr. Cho Ayaba. We understand a union between Daphne Yerima, the vice president of Seseku Ayok Tabi. We understand John Ba Akoro from the consortium. And then we understand the AgovC with the military wing ADF. And so each and everyone in such a union must belong. And if you belong to Dr. Cho Ayaba's wing, then you must understand that Dr. Cho Ayaba, like Benedict Kwa and like the VP, Dr. Julius Nye, are the same people because they adhere to one principle, one code of conduct, and one institution. And if you are going to John Ba Akoro, of course, you already know that there's no way you would deal with a consortium without John Ba Akoro. And if you are adhering to IGK or VP Daphne Yerima or Seseku Ayok Tabi, then you must understand that IG Bon, IGK, VP Daphne Yerima, and Seseku Ayok Tabi are one. And so agents of division will not understand that any leadership, any faction that be, you must belong and you must submit to that entire leadership. And so taking us somewhere with people that do not adhere to democratic principles and don't have a sense of submission or belonging is a chaos. And we see that there is a taboo and there is so much qualms and quacks ahead of time. And so we are telling our leadership to reconsider that in 2018, we, the vanguard of the revolution, have briefed the leadership that no matter how we do, we can give 1,000 AK as a case of contender to ground zero, but La Republic and their proxies will do everything possible to disarm our forces and flag them in their proxy TVs abroad. We said it because we have been vanguards. We said it not because we thought our leadership couldn't think like that. We knew that the leadership prioritized self-defense and armory and, equipment to our leadership in grounds, terms of defense. We knew. We have also shared the same idea before. In fact, we were the people that media have empowered the leadership not to spend any dime in TV, but to make sure that everything goes on the grounds. We understand that we might have thought that was a maxim that everyone will be giving, everyone in the diaspora will be giving to their various factions on ground zero. But time proved us immemorial that that was not the case for other people. And then we became a source of disarmament to other people. At that time, we had a TV by then. And, the TV didn't help us much. The TV helped and created what has brought a lot of stagnation to the revolution today. The TV gave rise to other people in this revolution that we are finally seen as infiltrators. Infiltrators, because the TV at then was not very inclusive and was not giving right freedom to press and having so many people, vanguard of the revolution, to come and speak. The TV therefore was a one-man show and has always been a one-man show. And the TV died a natural death. And unfortunately, the TV died when it had created the worm and the Trojan that has brought a lot of stagnation to the revolution today. And that is why we are talking about resurrecting the TV by then that did not foresee that today we shall have Trojans and viruses that are worse than Corona in Ambazonia. Indeed, the nation is bereaved. The nation is mourning. We have lost great generals, commanders, and soldiers of the revolution in ground zero. And none of this was terminated or assassinated or murdered by the enemy, the adversity, La République du Cameroon and France. Most of those hard jobs were done by those within us that called the name Ambazonia day and night. And we also understand in our political science studies that when you do counterfactuals, in counterfactuals you would have to think like an enemy. Because the enemy put himself like you in order to defeat your powerful defense forces on the ground. In other words, we have seen the CCTV cameras where you have seen the enemy dreaded as one of Ambazonian fighters, and they have gone to one bar and surrendered everyone and took everything. Also in the great state where I come from, I also have incidents where some of those who pay allegiance to this fake leadership will go to a village and put a gunshot up, because civilians already know that when there's gunshot up, you have to run and hide in the bushes because the enemy are in their locality. And so we have uncovered where one of the forces that was the son of these civilians did not get it and finally ran to Bamenda City. And when he arrived in Bamenda City, he called for alarm and as a town crier and said to the people that this is what has been happening, and that's why he left. And the people now went with the community leadership and hide. When the sound of the gun was done, they were taking eye to eye to see what was going on. They did not see La République. And since civilians ran and went to the bushes, they came out and went to the civilian houses and took their properties as they have been doing. They take the computers and money and items. They have secured some 2 houses in the bush where they store those materials. And so civilians immediately, because they were alerted, came out and ambushed them from nowhere. This happened not more than 24 hours. This is a fresh information. And civilians ambushed them and got them snake beatings. And then they spoke out and they said what they have been doing. And civilians apprehended them to the localities, to the storage facilities where they have been keeping valuable items like smart screen TVs and so many, household items like generators and stuff that could be sold out for money. We know the enemies took those things and go and steal and take it to their own cars and trucks. And so the soldiers that have been under the command of the infiltrators took the civilians to their storage. As I am saying now, if you doubt, from those of you people from Kiyan, you can call the council, the city council in Kiyan and go and take your materials. Those materials were taken by the civilians and community leaders to the Kiyan Community Council Hall. And all the civilians in Kikaikelaki are called to go to the council hall in Kiyan and collect your valuable items. And so this is the reason why we want to brief the leadership on the occasion of the TV. Dearest leadership, in 2018, otherwise 2019, beginning of 2020, we have briefed you that we need a satellite communication. You have told us every reason why you didn't think that was a way to go. We shared so many, things together in meetings. And you all explained to us the reason why you thought TV was not prioritized. And we all say, yes, if everything being normal, TV was not prioritized. Because we believe in self-defense more. And so we have to give materials in ground zero. But time immemorial have proven to us that as we give infiltrators, we go collaborate with La Republic, come and disarm and use the CRTV and NICs abroad to preach to our people and brainwash our people that we were instead the enemy. And we saw the issue of Bui. We lost how many equipment? You know what happened in Batibo, where they come and promise our forces magical. Turn our forces to work with forces that are already working with Cameroon. Disarmed our soldiers. Tried to cripple our valiant Supreme Commander Efang so many times and multiple times. Bullets have gone across his bones. I don't know how God created such a human being that is still able to stand up and fight. We have seen these things. At some point to the leadership, some of these infiltrators that you see, they came to me and advised me to advise you that you should propose salary to your soldiers. The leadership, I didn't say that to you because I know that was an attempt to hijack our soldiers and turn them against us. Because that is what they did. That made their own soldiers today to turn against them. They have printed materials and gave them. That salary will soon come until today, 2 years, 3 years, nothing has ever arrived them. And so they came behind and tried to advise people like me to talk to you because they know you listen to us. That we should propose salaries and matriculation to our soldiers. I was not dumb. I am not stupid. It's not everything that they told me that I will even take to your table. I already know what you are thinking. As a vanguard of the revolution, I vow not to even pollute you. Because sometimes that coming from my mouth, you might listen to it. And so I vow never to pollute you or bring you irrelevant information. And the reason why I am bringing the TV update today is because it's very relevant. Mandelas have spoken. Mandelas are talking. They have spoken. The AgovCs are talking. And therefore, being the voice of Mandela, I come here to say the unanimous thinking of Mandelas is that fellow AgovCs, various ADF leadership, our AgovC leadership, we do not practice experimentation in the revolution. You taught us correctly. I think that if you set an exam of experiment in the revolution, we the AgovCs and Mandelas are going to score 100%. And therefore, we think the idea with SCBC is an experiment. And thou shalt not experiment with the life of our people. If today we believe that the idea of the TV is the right way to go, therefore thou shalt not doubt. Because the philosophy say, in action do not doubt, and when acting don't doubt, and when doubting don't act. And if we came to understand now that the TV is a way out, it is a good thing to do, We must therefore seek the proper way to do it. The step one that we had was to let the leadership understand that there was no way we are going to procure this struggle and end without a TV. Our leadership finally understood that. We are so thankful and blessed with the leadership that listened to us. We are so thankful and blessed with the leadership that listened to the same civilian and citizens that you are fighting for. Thank you so much, Dr. Cho Ayaba. Thank you, Benedict Kwa. Thank you, all AgovCs and Mandelas. You are amazing. Otherwise, thank you, Ambazonia. Thank you, Ambazonians. Leadership, with much respect. Now that you understand the TV is a way out, like we have been crying to you, now we want to go to step 2. We do the correct thing. We will not experiment. We are not going to anything with doubt. If we doubt, we will not act. And if we act, we shall not doubt. And now we believe the TV is a way out. If infiltrators, people that are infiltrators could use the TV and raise more than $1 million in less than 6 months, what about the rightful people? If we could raise more than 93,000 with the PIN project, before we saw what happened in Bui, where our weapons were taken from our hands. If we raised 93,000 with just Facebook and us trying to take people behind the scene, we could do better with the TV. If other people that are even not valued, silent majority don't stand behind them, could raise money with the TVs, we could do better. Do not look at TV bills, because I know you're always thinking a TV bill is a material. We understand that the TV will bring more that can take care of itself and even give more than 93,000 to the materials. Think about this. If these people that don't stand for Ambazonia could raise money and never give a single den gun in ground zero, never a single country granite in ground zero, if they could still make it because of the TV, what about you that you are able to deliver even without the TV? It means do not look at the bills to be a problem. It is called investing in the future. You could take 10 materials money, invest to pay the TV bills, and then you will reap more from the TV that could buy 30 materials. Think about this. In other words, as a businessman for which I am, I take 50,000, I flip it, at the end I get 70,000. I gained another 20,000. Now I take 70,000, I flip. I might lose and get under 60,000. I lost 10,000. Guess what? I started from 50,000. I still have 60,000 in my hand. Now I take 60,000, I flip. Sometime now I gain 90,000. I take 90,000 again. I say, listen, you know what? Let me keep 20,000 and take 70,000 and flip. I take 70,000, I flip. I gain 80,000. I say, let me add another 10,000 to the 20 I had. I flip the 70, now I get 50,000 more. I take this 50,000, I add to 30,000 in the keeping. I already have 80,000. I started from what? From 50,000. And even though I already have 80,000, I still have 70,000 again. I can now play my jamboree. I can now play my Bafia dance with the 70,000 now, because that is now money that is gotten free. The TV actually is what it's going to do for us. We are going to prosper. I know you want to have more materials. Trust me. You shall have more and more and more. Because we, the rational Ambazonians, now believe in the leadership that you have. And the silent majority is waiting for the right thing to be done. We are not going to go on the TV where the priority is self-defense. But to some people, the priority is talking to Oyobo people. Oyobo people are people of the West. The people our forefathers fought so hard and take out of Africa. We are not going to talk in the TV when we believe self-defense is the ultimate roadmap. But some people believe that talking to Oyobo man is a way out. Ambazonians have lost $35,000 in the Folihawkers. The Folihawk law firm never ever even read a letter to AgovC Sekutabi, our leader that was impeached. That is in Kolengi. But that is the law firm that told them that they were not only going to free them, but free the entire Ambazonia, but they are not even able to stand and defend AgovC Sekutabi. We have seen, but we lost money. Money went to them. So we have to believe on ourselves, and that's why we believe in AgovC leadership, because it's a leadership that believes in ground zero power. And so we don't want to play any jamboree or any ping pong with any people that are not really focused at this time. Now we are going to TVs that have activists that have been power mongers trying to implement themselves into defense when they don't know. When they are profession is not that one. When they have not even been there at the first, we don't want to fist hand again with other people. We want those people to remain wherever they are. We want to be a people that have principle, the code of conduct that respect. Now the question is, are those people going to respect your code of conduct? Have they respected in the past? Remember the Washington Unitary Movement, where we took ourselves to go join and a memorandum of understanding was signed. Remember what happened 2 days? That was unity. But there are some people who came maneuvered by the enemy. We know, we believe in the leadership of John Ba Akoro and the consortium. We believe in the leadership of AgovC Sekutabi and Daphne Yerima, VP. Just like we believe in the leadership of Dr. Cho Ayaba, Chairman Benedict Kwa, and AgovC ADF. But you know, there are some people in this reality that do not belong to any of this faction. And they don't have where they belong. They are not even bystanders. Bystanders are the worst people in the society. You have a sense to belong. People who don't have any belonging are the worst people in this struggle. Because they want to emerge as good people. Why? They don't want to belong to any group. And in the past history, they have belonged to some groups that have failed. And today they don't want to believe in the groups that are standing. Those people have tribalistic tendencies. If a leader does not come from their village, they will not stand beside that leader. And so this is part of the things we want to eradicate from Ambazonia. Nepotism is bad ears. Favoritism, tribalism, embezzlement, discrimination, especially against women. These are things we want to eliminate from our nation. We want our leadership to understand those things. And those people have media strength. They have big manipulative tendencies. They have done it. History has proven. They have done it in the past. They continue to do it. We are aware. We can't play ping pong. We cannot experiment. We will have to go to what we believe and what we stand. We have to understand too that this support is coming from our civilian, especially some that have been, tilling their little hard end and they feel the pain about it. Should we go to people that cause the dismiss of our generals? Should we go to people that did not understand what happened actually in Gusang, in Batibo? People that did not know that what transpired in Gusang was the aftermath effect of the disarmament that they caused to ADF soldiers. And we are going to shall we collaborate with such people in terms of media, sharing the same house, when these people you've never did till today, they still don't understand what happened in Gusang. That if they have not disarmed ADF soldiers, they would have never even gone to take their arms in the first place, and therefore no one could have lost a life. This is the things that we are trying to understand with our leadership. Therefore, leadership, you see, I speak under AC and I swear, because this is something very important. I don't speak for myself. I speak for the vanguards. We have not seen any goodness in this. And we think that trying it is using money uselessly. We think that you are going to fling the money like the money was flinged to Folihawk law firm. We think that we are going to fling the money like La Republic flinging the money to some law firm in America, suing some of our activists you already know. We want to thank our AgovC lawyer for the amazing job that he's doing. Great job! Great job! Protection of the Ambazonian people and the institution is the paramount. And so for us as Vanguard to protect this, our institution, we have the right to question the institution and the right to caution the institution and the right to say it as it is. It will not work because there are people there that do not have a sense of belonging that will share the same media. If everyone have a sense of belonging and stand in their various institutions and drop the code of conduct, then we shall understand. I have seen it already happening. And then we will say, oh, had we known. But maybe we have lost a 10,000, a 20,000, a 30,000. But have we forgotten that we could use such a 10,000, a 30,000, a 40,000 to create ours that is permanent, even after independence? Think about this. You are not investing only in today. You are investing in the future. One thing I want to let you know. You have fought so hard, and the idea of self-defense now is being bought by everyone in Ambazonia. Everyone now believes that's the way out because you did not give up. You fought so hard. We did a lot of community mobilization, a lot of sensitization. Our people finally came to believe that any leadership that does not talk about self-defense is useless. It doesn't have much to say. And now, imagine how our ADF soldiers have been treated. That by people who believe that self-defense is the way out, but they go again and they have no respect for ADF soldiers. We have lost 38 valiant soldiers of Ambazonia, not even of ADF faction, from Ambazonia in Bui. These are people that were moving unified. We have lost ADF fighters all across Ambazonia. We don't want to lose a single one again because we want to go close to where there are some people that maneuvered even the death of General Ivan Ba. Think about the history surrounding the death of General Ivo. Have those people ever apologized? Have they ever made any public apology and even apology directed to the General Ivo's family or legitimate or immediate relatives? And therefore, when we go close to these people, so many people who are seeing they are like, maybe we don't understand. I understand that it's good that we come together and collaborate. But when it comes to communication, it is something you have to understand that you cannot share your mouth. People will want to put something in your mouth that is bitter. You don't want to create another in-house fight. Because when you share house with people who don't have ideology like you, things will never go okay. And you cannot be in a house where there's a room you cannot go to. You know, it's going to be difficult. And even if there's a room you cannot go to, you are entering one room and somebody is doing his private personal thing, then you are bound to wait until that person finishes it. And then by so doing, if you were dying, maybe you have to take medication from the house. You died because that person was doing his personal thing. Now, shall you be able to brief the nation at any time when any matter arises? No. Because you will have to schedule yourself before the time you will come. Maybe your schedule is every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Something has happened on, example, like Friday evening. After your briefing, you have to wait until Sunday before you can come to brief. This is revolution. There is no time to wait. You do not pursue revolution. You are bound to have something that at any time T, your spokesman can go and brief at any time T when matters arise. Imagine a national emergency coming up and you have to wait 2 days to brief because your turn. You are going to be like a polygamy relationship where there is a timetable for every woman, where you cannot come if it's not your day. And if the day comes and you are on your cycle, you know you are going to lose because there's no proration or there is no shifting ahead. You will not enjoy anything at that time because somebody is there. You are scheduled to come every Monday, maybe every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then if something happens on Monday, you cannot come because you cannot. And so that is an experiment that we don't want to try. We know that it's hard-earned money that we are doing, but we are not complaining. We, the AgovCs, are not complaining. We will not complain. We are ready to face the challenge. We are ready to face the challenge to have one and nothing but one. We do not want to have half. We want to have one and nothing but one. And if we should have half, then there should be no half somewhere else. We believe that that is one and nothing but one. We do not want to take any chance. We do not want to experiment. We want to go into what we are sure and certain that we can brief the nation at any time, be it midnight or midday, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time be. We want to have a freedom of self-expression, freedom of speech, and that freedom has no time limit. And that freedom is not periodic. And that freedom has no scheduling. A freedom that if anything happens, our chairman can get up in the midnight and do a briefing when something is happening. Imagine when La Republique now is bringing enemies to where our ADF forces are. But you still have 2 days before you can have access to TV. Before 2 days, all the ADF has been killed. And there was no community mobilization because you didn't have access to TV to tell community on what should be. Now, I want to say here that the leadership has committed murder because you went and shared a platform with people and you took a schedule and you know you cannot manage the revolution fully 100%. In that case, we shall be seen indirectly as murder because we could do the right thing now and save the lives of those people. What am I here to say is that if we have a 24/7 media platform, satellite platform, where we could reach our people at any time, we could reduce casualties. Is sharing the media with people not going to reduce? It's going to reduce. But there's going to be some paramount cases, some prioritized cases that we are going to lose and life will be lost. And therefore, in protection of human beings, our people, we have to do it 100% and not partially. Remember, we now believe in the TV, but we didn't believe about it 2 years ago. Just like we preached before it happened. The issue that happened in Bui might have not happened. This La Republic massacre, our people to Donga might not happen because we might have done maybe some proper community mobilization. We might have positioned our ambassador forces and collaborators in way to fight. So you understand that it's a lot on us when we do not, when we don't think in 5 years from now. And so when we want to think only in 2020, we will think that going to share a media is the best thing to do. But we are not sure that revolution is surely on 2020 ending. And so we must be investing. Our businessman will invest in the future. Just recently, corona pandemic across the world has put people's businesses down, real estate and everything is down. Stock businesses and everything. But those who dwell on stock understand that it's a trend. It goes up, it comes down. And so you have to invest in the future. You allow it 1-2 years, you're going to have a level and start to reap your dividends or profits. And so you understand that we might invest now and our money keep for 1, 2, 3 months going on the bills. But I'm telling you that we shall adjust. And when we pick up steam, it is only until thy kingdom come. Think about investing in the future and not about in the present. Think about investing something that you will reap even in 10 years. Imagine after independence and you have a media platform. You can fight and have independence and they take it from the people. Neo-colonialism is real. Almost 70% or 90% of African countries don't really have independence. Because they had independence, but a media platform was mounted and changed the way people think. See how it took us almost 4 years to get our people thinking correctly. A lot of sensitization, talking and crying and sweating like I'm doing now under AC. And so you understand that we might fight and have independence quite all right. And then you don't have freedom to press. Something happened. You miss it. And then some people will maneuver our people to the wrong direction again. And it might refute itself. Ambazonia may go in a civil war. Ambazonia may plunge itself into maximum division and hate. But if you have invested in the future, that house now will be used again to sensitize, sanitize, bond our people together, and bring cleanliness in our nation. Think about the future. If when you think about the future, we use every single dime, every single franc, every single dollar, every single pound or euro with carefulness. You are not only using now to achieve any, you are implementing for the future. There's no return, there's no looking back. We don't blink in the revolution. And therefore the idea of a TV amalgamation or parastatal is a blinking. You have got to own it. You are going to have full control over it because you want to brief your people 24/7. And you will not wait for your time schedule before you can speak because of the issue of national emergencies. There's going to come a time where some people want to punish our civilians. Example, the case of tomorrow, which is 20th May 2020. You have seen some people are trying to call for a ghost town for lockdown tomorrow. But they have forgotten that there is no 20th May celebration. And all those things are meant, sometimes they don't know or sometimes they know and they want to use that in order to make our people to continue to suffer and die. And so that's more reason why we want to say it's good to have an autonomous media. Because people with media have proven to us where a chicken urinate from. We do not want to take such risk again. And therefore, we have a petition to the leadership to reconsider. And we will hand over the petition to the leadership as sees it below the AgovC leadership, as sees it below the ADF leadership to consider that we have seen chaos, quacks, qualms, hate, division, and no productivity days ahead. In terms of scheduling, in terms of differences in opinion, ideology. You have such a powerful ideology as self-defense for Ambazonia, but some people don't get it. You are such a young leadership that represent the absolute 85% youth of the Ambazonia. And therefore, your thinkings are always going to be somehow, too much rational. That some people you share platform with, we think that you are radical. And so we, the young people, understand your leadership is such a wonderful thing not to lost. And so as vanguards, we are cautioning the leadership today. It is not an easy one. I speak and sweat. It is not an easy one. It is something that people don't do in various factions and groups. We do it in AgovC because AgovC is a democratic institution. We do it with ADF because ADF is the people's army and the people are talking now. We are civilians. We are vanguards. If we have to address this to you, it's because we believe in you. We believe in your leadership. We believe in the Revolutionary Council that you are leading. We believe in our ADF that you gave us. We continue to pray that God should continue to guide you. Continue to pray that God should continue to be with you, give you retentive memory, give you a lot of wisdom and understanding, give you all the fruit and the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Continue to guide you and everyone around you. Last but not the least, our leadership should also understand that your advisors are human beings like us. Your advisors are human beings. Some of us, like me in person also, I am a communicator. I know where we are weak. I know where we can go ahead more because I speak directly from the field. And so we might have some advisors that actually do not touch the field or the grounds, or might not be communicators and might not understand the importance of communication. Therefore, they will give you wrong advice. You want to get your advice in terms of communication, get to your frontliners. Do not listen to your advisors. They are great advisors, very great, but because experience is always good in the situation in democratic societies. You have got to have a doctor in terms of health care. You got to have people with defense experience in terms of defense. In the humanitarian, you got to have people that have experience in humanitarian. In the executive, you have people that have leadership skills. Communication too, people should not be masterminded. And so advice that concern communication, satellite communication, TVs, should come from communicators. And people that are chief of communicators that are not players in the field should get advice from players in the field. I am a player in the field. So I speak here with credibility. I am not ranting. I've been a communicator. I know where we have been lacking. And the things I say today is just a summary of what we have said since 2018. I say 2018. By 2017, we have not foresaw that we will equip our soldiers in Ground Zero and people will go and disarm it and change narratives in their CRTV, Proxy, and Next TV in diaspora. And so the leadership should consider, because being a communicator, I have credibility to say this. And so it is not all the advice that you have to take from your advisors that are great, but if they are not based on that field, the advice from them is shooting us from the legs. We want to thank the leadership for accepting that TV is a way out. But then the second plan that we had when we were telling you that TV is a way out is what I have just said today. Doing it properly without any experiment. Doing what you know that at any time whether you use your left hand or your right hand, whether you cover one eye and only one eye, or whether you cover all your eyes, you are not afraid that one person you are with is not in the same line with you. And so, fellow brothers and sisters, I want you all to consider this. I want you all leadership to consider this. I want you all to understand that we are here saying something because we have seen calamity coming. We do not want to stand the chance for 1 month or 2 months again before we retreat and come back and say, oh yeah, it was a mistake. Now it is better that we should have what will take us to independence and secure the same independence even after independence. Because we have seen post-independence. Like in Sudan. Sudan did not have the media that they control their people. Such a monopoly in Sudan turned Sudan upside down. Sudan was turned to a turmoil upside down. Because after independence, they did not have proper sensitization and mobilization media platform that could educate their people. And so the enemy turned Sudan people again among themselves to fight. The same thing happened in Somaliland, Somalia. So many places we have seen that. And so we are not only aiming at the president as the present, at the pre-war, but at the post-independence. So we have to put something that is solid. No to experiments in a revolution. We put a solid thing today, and we will reap the fruit of the solid thing we are putting today, even after independence. Think about this leadership. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless all Mandelas. God bless all of you AgovCs for thinking. The petition will be sent to the leadership, and all of them will be CC'd. I have spoken exactly the way you wanted me to say. I am not going to add anything more. It was supposed to be an hour, and time limit is 3 minutes. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting. We are in an institution where we question our leaders, we speak to our leadership, and we act in building our communities. Because this Ambazonia belongs to us, and our leadership are the sacrificial lamb. They have sacrificed themselves for us. Our leadership is selfless, relentless. They have been fighting for years. And yes, together as one, we shall make it happen. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. A luta continuara. Again, another day. We have the national anthem to end the briefing. Thank you and God bless you.
The land of glory, we the Ambazonia, special loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the hero who bought the land with your blood. Glory to glory, we rise never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation for joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall make in our name. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall make intimate in our name. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Thank you so much. This is Major General Verla. God bless you all, fellow Mandelas. Have a good time, have a good day on the independence and nothing else but independence for Ambazonia. Thank you and goodbye.